Welcome to Kump. We have a lot to get to today. Hello, Lucie.
Hello.
Hello. We are going to discuss this White House demolition project with the East Wing. Is very interesting. I have an interesting bit of information on that. So stay. But this stuck in my craw, and it's going to seem weird. I don't know how quite pivot into it organically. Can we just let's just show this weird thing. This is Jeremy Allen White. It's a tweet I saw. Now, if you don't know, if you're listening on the audio and you don't know who Jeremy Allen White is, he's the guy from The Bear. That show that's a comedy about a restaurant where nothing's funny ever seems to happen, and it's just they take like a place that serves steakums in the middle of Chicago. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's good, but like steakums, but good, right? Mm-hmm. That was the gimmick for that The Bear. In the canon of the show, and then the idea is that it becomes like a 4-star Michelin thing in the middle of downtown, whatever part of Chicago isn't good, where people get killed all the time. I don't know about that. Like, they deal with that element of it. I don't know, but it's fine. People know that show, but he's kind of a genius, right?
And he always plays a genius.
What's that saying? It's like so this guy. He's like a troubled. He used to work at like the top chefs' kitchens. He knows all the best boys, all the top chefs. He's like, he knows everyone in the industry. He's always like, his kind of thing where he comes in, like he's James Bond going to a spy convention. And he's like, well, you're still in the business? Oh, I'm working at the steakum shop. And it's like, you fell far. That's before you find out he was good. It's like, oh, he knows these people, right? Mm-hmm. He's such a genius.
And then this guy, and back when he was on Shameless, he was playing a genius.
He was this kid. His show was about like a wino. like freaking William H. Macy plays.
Wino's illegitimate children.
Right. He has 8 children, and he's just a guy who does like scams at first. Like, I think he sometimes steals credit cards, right? And you think, oh, is he going to become some kind of hustler on the streets? Like, hey, daddy, or whatever, But no, he gets like recruited by the NSA in this show. Later on, you watch. I come in one night. You're watching in the middle of the night. I only watched the first season, and he's like, "What's going on here?" You're like, "Oh, he's being recruited into the CIA as a computer genius." Now, why is this so important to me? Why do I care about you? Because if you look, this tweet is pictures from a magazine spread. I don't know which. It doesn't matter. At first I'm like, well, it's really interesting. He's got kind of this barrel chest that reminds me of old school actors. You look at his face. Look at his damn face. This is the dumbest looking man I've ever seen in my life. The dumbest looking man. These faces, and it's not the first time I've seen this. I mean, look at that! Look at that expression. This is not. I'm not saying he doesn't know. You can't name all 50 amendments of the Constitution or whatever. He hasn't read Chaucer. I'm saying this guy looks like if you asked him, how a toilet works, he would just stare. That's my level of intelligence. Hey, Kump, how do we figure out if this kid's really a gifted kid? Well, I ask him how a toilet works. What else would you do? Poop go down.
It's like how they pick the Dalai Lama. Yeah. Just put him in front of a toilet and see what he does. See if he can
make sense out of his crapper. But he looks like he doesn't. It's just an old school level of dumb. Like when you watch like The Sopranos or like The Godfather, even they're like not. Again, they're not Rhodes scholars, these characters, but they have conversation. But when you watch an old mob, with these guys, like there's always these lunks, right? Like, who's that famous one? Luca Brasi from The Godfather was the one guy. Like kind of like it hurts to even think. Like right. Thinking actually hurts their brain. We don't see that anymore, but that's what you see when you look at Jeremy Allen White.
Right.
And look, if it was just this, would I be going on crazy? How do I look to people? I get it. I'm not just going off on one tweet. Can we pull up? Do I have it here on this button? No. Okay. So this is a Calvin Klein billboard. I believe I saw this on like 6th Avenue or something for like a few months. This is Jeremy Allen. Now we've all seen the Calvin Klein billboards. It's men. When they are men, let's just say it's they're showing their butt. Your ass, the jeans
They're showing the bod.
It fits nice. Maybe it's coming down. They look. He looks like he's just a candid picture of like a fucking stalker took of him trying to get changed in the street before like an acting interview. Like it looks like Jeremy Allen White showed up and look, he was like, "Hey, I've been on Shameless with the Wynell family where I played a genius, but I'm not like I'm still not what they call offer only." Where you just get offered parts. I have to audition for the bear, and he showed up to the audition, and he just changed on the street and took the picture. That's how dumb he looks. This can't be an accident.
His face is filled. It's a mix of stupidity and shame.
Bewilderment at the idea of what is. It's a camera. What is a thing? A camera. Well, he's not mad at you taking a picture. He doesn't understand what a camera is. That's the level of stupid on his face.
He looks like he's trying to take a shit and he doesn't know how.
Right.
And also he's been like beaten in the past for doing it.
Yeah, for asking how to take a shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just don't want to make the mistake again. I don't want to do the wrong thing. I mean, he's an attractive. His face is attractive. I'm not the person to judge Jeremy Allen. He in a lot of ways he's like a physical Adonis. Maybe I don't know. I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman, but yeah, he's got a nice body. I think he's reasonably tall enough. I know women like tall. He seems tallish. I mean, he's got like a kind of old school, like his nose is kind of sharp, like an Italian guy, like the kind of but he looks like a handicapped person in some of these pictures. It can't be a coincidence they keep making him play geniuses. This is some kind of psyop.
Right.
They want to rewrite history and narratives for us. This is like they don't need to go and write Beowulf because no one reads Beowulf, right?
It used to be like, actors, like, if you saw them talk in an interview, it would be clear that they were as dumb as rocks.
Right.
But in the movies and the characters they were playing a genius. They had gravitas. Like they knew how to deliver a line like a genius would.
Yes, yeah. Dude, I love the Americans. I don't shut up about that. And Matthew Rhys, the guy who plays like the main guy, is like this nuanced and like subtle character who's a killer, but also like sharp, and he's kind of got these like quips and whatever. All the things that would make you go, this guy. And you hear him in an interview, and it's like he's. But they know how to do it, right? They have gravitas. They don't have. I'm saying that I don't know Matthew Rhys. I'm gonna talk shit. I mean, I like the guy. He doesn't seem like I'm not saying he's brilliant, but he knows how to impart gravitas.
Right.
But you watch this guy in these shows. That's the other part of this. That's a good point. He's not doing that.
Right.
In the show, he's just going like, if the show is about him being a cook, he's like, we need more steakums. I want to get more steakums. Like that's what he thinks like a top chef does. I know Gordon Ramsay's a thing, but I mean the level of like I remember watching that show, I don't get that show because he just seems to scream like, oh, this is all wrong. Oh my! Like, it's just like then why would they do this? They want to confuse us, and that sounds simplistic, but that's actually the most important. Because so much like the discourse, and we'll get to the whole East Wing, for instance, and teardown stuff, and some other stuff that's going on this week, right? I don't care. It ain't about politics. I don't care, who's. My point is, but like you notice what people talk back and forth about. It is these fine points that like, wait, why are we talking about that, right? And like they want that to be. They just want you to stop questioning. Like, they don't want you to have a firm ground to even have a debate anymore. That's what they want 10 years from now. Mm-hmm. They want to replace you with a Amazon Fire tablet, right? And like it's gonna be easier when you just don't like when you watch Terry Gilliam's Brazil. You're not like, oh, this makes sense. That the people who control me are smart. It feels like these satires are all it feels arbitrary. Who controls everything, right? Mm-hmm. But that's not an accident. Because when you think there's a change, you can be like, well, this doesn't seem fair. They want a world where that doesn't come up. Mm. They want a world where you go, well, I know if I try to bring this up, I'm Jeremy Allen White in your example. I know it's getting a little confusing now, but that's how it's going to be. Because I'm saying he's dumb, but they want to make you, they want you to realize that that's a genius.
Yeah.
And that you're also like, hey, I don't know how to take a shit. I thought I did. I was beat pretty hard last time I tried. I did the wrong thing. I don't want to do the wrong thing, but I know if I ask again, I'll just get hit again. Anyway, that's the fucking situation we're in. That's like, that's what they want. We're not, maybe not quite there yet, but that's what they want. Mm-hmm. That's why Jeremy Allen White's very valuable to them. And why you go, well, why do they keep casting this guy in things? I mean, he's good looking enough, but so are a lot of people. Jacob Elordi's quite handsome. Right?
Yeah.
When he gets roles, I guess, whatever.
Why do all these genius characters just keep going, fuck?
Right. No, my point is why they keep it, because they want this. Barry Kogan plays like fucking suave guys now somewhere, right? Like,
right.
It's like, that guy's like a weird, like, that guy should be playing like whoever like Dustin Hoffman played 30 years ago.
Right, yeah. He started out off kind of playing like ghoulish characters,
right,
which was great.
Yeah.
He was great in those roles.
Right. But him playing creepy ghouls. Right. But now they want him dating, like, oh, he's a date Sabrina Carpenter. Oh, the girl that was in her underwear on SNL this week, which is like, and everyone's like, is she hot or not? I don't know. Why do I care about Barry Kogan's girlfriend?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? But this is what I'm saying. It used to be like Paul Newman, Robert Redford. Things made sense a little bit.
Right.
Oh, he's dating he's dating Anne Margaret. Quite attractive. And like, but Paul Newman never looked like this on his face. HUD, he played like kind of not the smartest guy. HUD, he played like a guy who was like his dad owned a cattle ranch, and not a particularly huge one. He was kind of not doing great, but he was like the guy who still like he helped with that. But he was like he was banging all the wives around town. Mm-hmm. He was like a dumb jock who's just like he kept getting in trouble because he's banging everyone's wife. And it was like, hey, HUD, we're starting to get sick of this. And then the movie kind of turns into this thing about because the cows get hoof and mouth disease, and the FDA or someone comes that's like, or whatever, the agriculture or whatever, whoever does this comes out and says you have to kill all the cows. And I guess that inspires him to like grow up. Mm-hmm. And he's playing like a not sharp. He never looked like this. I don't care which role we're talking about.
Yeah. I think you're onto something here. It's for the purpose of confusion.
Yeah.
And demoralization.
They just don't want. I mean, look, you could also argue that I'm losing a grip on reality. That I'm starting to go on Twitter too much, and I just spend all my time staring at Jeremy Allen White, and I won't admit to my wife that I'm gay. That's also possible. I don't think it's true. I don't think I'm attracted to Jeremy, but I've been staring at him. I have his picture of him in his underwear up for the past 10 minutes. So whatever. I don't know. I do feel like I'm onto something. I feel like they don't want anything to make sense. But yeah, look, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna try to meet Jeremy Allen White? Maybe I should have him on the show. I mean, do you think he would do the show? Do you think we can get him on and show him? Can someone show it? Can someone clip this? Can someone do the work I'm supposed to do for this show and for me and clip this and send it to him and say, hey, this guy was talking about you. Do you find this flattering? It'd be funny if he's not dumb at all, which I don't think he is, to be clear. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he is dumb. He might. I mean, if he wasn't, but if he's not, he's such a good actor. It doesn't make sense that he sounds the way he would be so much better, in my opinion. But whatever. My point is, someone show him this if you could, and say, hey, do you find this flattering or offensive? Do you want to react to this? I don't know. I'd love to get his take on this. I need to get more.
You trying to start a feud with Jeremy Allen White?
I mean, it wasn't the point I made. If I was good at this, that would be the point of this. Mm-hmm. But that point of this was just to just pontificate about how he's gonna look at this and he's just gonna, what is this fat idiot saying about me? I look too stupid on the billboard they paid me $2 million to be on. Yeah, I'm the moron. I'm the big idiot, fat guy. Well played. And I'm like, they want.
But it begs the question, why would you pay someone $2 million to do this and then choose this frame?
Why don't you ask him that? He'd say. What do you say? I don't know. Now I'm just eating my own. I'm just eating my own debate. I'm just saying, but yeah, I just think it'd be funny. He's like, I don't know. I don't think about it. I just look hot. Mm. But I don't think it's the case. I think he actually, well, whatever. Anyway, that's just food for thought. We'll move on. This is not the Jeremy Allen White roast show. Mm-hmm. All right, before we move on, just make sure, if you're not already, please subscribe to the show and, like it and you comment. Make some comments. Talk about what you think of Jeremy Allen White. And even if and come to YouTube, even if you're listening on audio, and make your comments. Pick your favorite Jeremy Allen White picture and tell me where to go and find it. You know, because I'm not sure we can put links in the comments of a YouTube thing. You can pick his roles, but I'm not sure he's in any movies.
And if you have any photos where he's showing a little bit more skin, if you know what I mean.
I'm not. That's not what I'm about. I'm not gay.
DM Ray and send them.
I'm love my wife. Anyway, we also have Patreon. Patreon.com/Ray Kump. And you get if you go on there, there's an extra episode every week, and it's only like $5 a month. And I think you get like only maybe that's a lot of money to you. Maybe whatever. I think it's reasonable. It's a reasonable exchange if you like it. So that's there. Anyway, let's move on. So we have this White House. What would you call? How would you just say it succinctly?
It's change. Change is the only constant.
Sure.
And the White House is changing.
The times they are changing.
It's a lot of people have been showing pictures of the wreckage.
Right. Do we have that up here or no?
Of the demolition.
You pull that up, people. But look. So here's what's going on. Trump is. I guess he announced this recently, and we all made fun of it. And I didn't, quite know what it meant. But he's like, "We're gonna have a big ballroom here," and everyone was kind of laughing. And that's why Kimmel got fired for a minute, and then brought back. He got suspended. I don't care. Whatever actually happened. But yes, that's fine, right? Just leave it. That's fine. So this is everyone freaked out this week because these pictures started coming out, and this is the White House being torn apart. And I bet you're wondering what would you have to offer this debate about whether this should be torn? And I'm honestly not even sure. You're actually not on bad footing there. Like, why would I be talking? Because I'm actually not even sure what the back and forth is, right? Mm-hmm. Like, people seem to just be, mad that he's doing it without congressional approval, which I don't know. Do they need it? Do they not need it? I don't know. They're all valid questions, I guess. Mm-hmm. There seems to be a lot of hemming and hawing and free. But here's my thing. Here's why it struck me that I don't actually know or I didn't until this happened, realize what the East Wing of the White House is. I literally thought, so this is do we have a picture of the White House first? Like is that the White House there in that photo? Right, that one. Look like that one. Is that the West Wing or that's just the White Mansion, right? What you see when you look at the White House is my point. I
think most of the time people are looking at the center of it. Yeah, the residency. I'm
not sure what you think the White House is. I'm not saying many people will know. I'm not breaking ground here. Mm-hmm. They know, but you have the building that we think of as the White House, and then you think, well, which one's so you have the West Wing and the East Wing, right? And the president works in the West Wing, and what happens in the East Wing, I'm not sure. I didn't know until I knew there was a West Wing. Is my point. And I only know that, but I only knew that after a few years of watching the show, The West Wing. I mean, when I say I know it was a West Wing. I was watching the West Wing.
You didn't know it after the first season?
Well, we'll get to this. People are going, what the hell are you talking about? Well, you sound like you're having a stroke. But I want to get this idea across. Why? Because I don't think I'm actually a handicapped man in the brain. I don't think I'm stupid. People overstate my intelligence sometimes, but I'm not stupid. And I'm watching the West Wing, and Donna and Josh, if you don't know, it doesn't matter who they are. I remember she was waiting, she's his assistant, and it was established, I was waiting by this window to see you come up in the parking lot. And I just got curious one day, and I'm like, well, where would she be standing in the building? And I looked, I was like, this is years ago, I'm looking at the friggin' thing, and I see a picture, I'm like, oh, it's a whole different building. The West Wing.
It is? I thought it was all connected by colonnades.
It's like a different building they build, and then they build a portico or something that connects it.
Okay.
Or something. You know what I mean? So it's it is kind of part of the complex, right? Mm-hmm. And I've known that for years. Well, all right. But here's what's crazy. I still didn't know there was a separate building called the East. I thought I thought the main thing was the East Wing. Mm. Oh, this is the West Wing. Which it should have occurred to me. I know I'm dumb, but the mansion, that middle thing is just a residency. And then you have the West Wing. I don't even know what happens in the East Wing. Apparently you can't have parties in there. It's a museum? I don't even know. I'm saying people are losing their minds about a thing that's way off to the side. If you go to I've been to the White House twice, not inside, but on Boy Scout trips, and we went to the gates, mm-hmm. and we're looking for, we're standing there for a few minutes because I was younger. I'm still probably cool if I went now. Oh, look, it's the thing I know about, the White House. Duh. You're looking at it. Mm-hmm. But you don't see, that shit's behind trees and shit. You don't even know it's there.
A lot of the important stuff is in the West Wing.
Like, someone's like, oh yeah, imagine if the West Wing was, but yeah, look, it still wouldn't make a difference maybe. But like if they said to you like the Oval Office is gone, you would at least go like, wow, interesting.
Right.
I've always known the White House have an Oval Office. It's in every movie, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I mean, maybe I'm saying that. I'm just saying I can't imagine that I'm so much less informed than most people. I don't think this is. Do we have a chart here?
Yeah.
Bring up that chart. I don't think they know this exists. I mean, they say they do, and people are acting like he's shit on the Constitution and set it on fire, which he will. I'm not saying he won't do that, but it's a separate issue. This is like. I can't. Also, on top of it, there are legitimate things where like they've rebuilt this shit. This is only like goes back to like 19. I think they built it in 1900 and they renovated it in 48 like heavily. Like whatever. I don't know. Should you tear? I don't. I'm not a lawyer or if I know Jackie Onassis got really upset about like Penn Station closing, and so much so she made sure the Grand Central Station didn't close down in New York City. I would have been more like, hey, can we get a new Warren Commission? You killed my husband, right? I would have put more emphasis on that. Hey, can we find out who actually killed my husband? I guess she's been through enough. Whatever, I'm just saying, but there's a whole preservation thing that's happened since then, you could argue. But I don't know, I just don't think people understand what the West Wing or the East Wing is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it seems to be, like, I have a list of rooms here. There's a garden room. I've heard of the Rose Garden. I haven't heard of the garden room.
Yeah.
East Colonnade, visitor's entrance. It's a lot of the visitor stuff seems to be there.
So that's where you go?
There's a theater where you like watch a video welcoming you to the White House.
This does make sense, because I always did think, like, what? So they're going to, like, you're gonna go on a tour. I've never been on the tour, but you go on a tour and you're showing up while like whoever it would be at the time, Andy Card. If you watch the chief of staff and they're talking about Cuba and nuking Cuba, whatever they do in the West Wing, and people are just showing up for tours. But I think I'm sure they do it off hours. But the point is, like, it just seems weird to be even showing up in the same But no, that makes sense. They have a separate visitors thing where you go over there, way over there. So like, even if you are a weird lunatic, we have you over there for a while, and then we bring you over for the tour over there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get to scope you out a little bit.
Right.
First.
It's kind of when you go to some theme park and it's like this stupid. When we went to the World War II museum and we watched that dumb Tom Hanks movie, right? Remember?
Right. Oh,
you didn't see that? It's not great. It's fine. Tom Hanks, he's a pro, but whatever. My point is, like, yeah. So I don't really. It doesn't matter if that gets torn down and rebuilt. Like, I'll admit, a lot of shit. I'm not sitting here going, like, don't you Trump and this and that. Whatever. There's a lot of divisive stuff happening. Very spicy time to live. This doesn't seem like one of the big things.
Apparently, Nixon.
Yeah.
There used to be a swimming pool in the White House.
Well, yeah.
And he turned that into the press briefing room.
Right. And then, like, he put it in.
I'd be pissed about that if I were the next president.
Sure. I mean, I don't know who. Probably his wife. What was his wife's name? You remember?
I almost wanted to say Cynthia, but no, that's the Sex and the City one.
he was banging her. It's a worst kept secret in D.C. or whatever. Was probably that Kennedy was just banging whores in the freaking in the pool.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there was a news story that came out like 10 years ago about some new hoe.
Do you think that's why he did it? He was like, I'm going to cover up that dirty boys.
Well, that's why I asked about his wife, because I think his wife might have been like, I know it. Like, I go to these parties. I know what these East Coast elites don't love us, but I still get invited to some parties, and I know they were fingering these assistants down there in the pool. No more pool. You're
not going to be swimming with boys in the pool.
Well, I'm the president finally. I finally get to finger a whore. Nixon. My dad owns an orange field, but he sold wrong. So I don't know. It's like, yeah, I mean, that might be why they covered. There's also, there used to be, I know Nixon did put in also a bowling alley.
Right, yeah.
And then famously, I thought he tore that down to Obama to put in his basketball court. But then apparently, I mean, maybe that, I don't know where that is. Is that in the East? I don't know where they put it, because someone made a point that was like a $200 million. It couldn't be. I think they just lied now, like on all sides. Mm-hmm. Like Obama's basketball court was $200 million. That's crazy if it's true. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's just seems like too much for a basketball court, but whatever. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. Nothing's real anymore. But so I don't know. I know it seems like I'm just ranting about how I didn't know and no one else could know. I know other people could know. I could have a blind spot, but like they don't teach this in school really, unless my schools just sucked. I did go to like kind of weirdly not great schools. I went to this Catholic school that like I've said before, but like if you weren't on like the honor roll track, I never did my homework. And whatever, I mean, it wasn't as smart as them. I think I wasn't smart, but I was lazy. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But if they have like decent teachers for those people, and if you were like if you had like a C average, they would give you like retarded people would teach you. it was weird. I mean, but whatever. So maybe I just have a blind. Did they teach you in school at any point?
You get certain like highlights. I think the Lincoln bedroom comes up.
Yeah, but wasn't that because like they were trying to sell like. Wasn't it under Clinton or something? They were trying to sell, raffling off, night you could stay in the Lincoln bedroom.
Oh, right, yeah.
There was a whole big controversy, and then, like, wasn't he banging Lewinsky in there or something? Who knows? But yeah, you're right. They bring up, that would come up.
Yeah, right, the Lincoln bedroom, and then, the Oval Office, obviously.
Right.
But, but yeah, like you don't get a full overview.
I get it.
I've never met a person who is really into the layout of the whole White House.
I mean, it makes sense because I think most teachers know that, like, look, we're lucky if you remember the Bill of Rights, right? Like, they know, like, I'm not gonna spend like a whole like day or two talking about the physical additions and layout of the White House complex. As it were, they can, if they really care, they can look it up on their own. I mean, none of us did,
right?
Because it's just like, why would you emphasize this? But like, how could this ever really be that pertinent? Well, weirdly, it is kind of now. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Trump's going to do it, and people are going to get mad, and nothing's going to happen. So it doesn't like, matter, but like it matters like in a one day context, kind of. It is an interesting time to be alive in the sense that like everything matters a lot for one day. It's kind of like that Andy Warhol thing, but with topics. Right. Like who would have thought the physical layout would matter? It doesn't. But yeah, I mean, apparently he's getting it from private donors. That's part of the gimmick, right? It's going to cost like $250 million or something to do.
Damn.
A lot of money. A lot of money.
Did you hear what private donors?
No, I mean that could be interesting, but also like, yeah. I mean, is it donors or is it one? And is it the one you were talking about last week? I don't know. The one you were saying, which countries you love the most? I don't know. I'm just saying, look, at the end of the day, he should be getting something out of this. I mean, even if it's just for him. If you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, what is the downside? Well, who would this person, I'm trying to speculate here now. I mean, should he go through, he should go throrough Congress. I agree if that was the case before. No, I don't know. Like there's weird things with this kind of stuff. Sometimes you would say that, and someone says, "Well, no, actually, because of the uniform executive edition, real estate additions clause in 1976, they don't have to." Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I look a moron now, right? That's just you try to get into this stuff too deep in the weeds, and that everything's designed to just make you just go away. But but in the general sense, yeah, all right. I guess Congress should get involved. But am I more passionate about that fact when it comes to war? I would say yes. And they don't seem to get involved with that as much. It seems like with wars, they just get to do what they want now as presidents. And then they'll get like a loose approval maybe for some stuff, not other stuff. I guess they did approve Iraq, but then not Afghanistan. Whatever. Some of this stuff gets approved. The drone strikes Obama did get. I don't want to keep bringing that up. Like, I mean, look, Obama did. I was gonna say a lot of good. Now, I don't know if he actually did that much, but I think even if he meant well, a lot of drone strikes, right? And you go, why do I keep catching strays on the Kump podcast about drone strikes? Because that's all I know. Is that and cash for clunkers.
What would you add to the White House if you were president?
What's an interesting question? We'll pivot off this me ranting about. I just don't know what this is. We'll move on. You're right. What would I add to the White House? You telling me you knew what the White Swing was? I don't believe you. You're lying. This is all designed to make me look. I'm losing my mind. No.
You're going to try to make a fool out of me?
You didn't have to tell everyone. You could have just done what everyone else does and quietly kind of to yourself go, oh, I didn't know that, and not make a whole podcast episode about how you didn't know and no one else could have known. But what I did. That's what I done. So, yes. So what was the question again? What would I add?
If you were president, what would you add?
You mean like kind of like my funding? Mm-hmm. It's a good question.
What would be your basketball court?
Right, yeah. Like, so like, Nixon had the bowling alley, which does seem like a nice thing, right? You could conceivably, if Gorbachev comes over, you can both bowl, because there's nothing more weird than a good bowler anyway. Like, you know, if someone's really good at bowling and they're not pro, and that's still weird. It's like, no one's gonna. You can just kind of bowl and have a few drinks, and it's nice, right?
Right.
Versus basketball is kind of like, you know, you get fucking played. You look like a fool with basketball.
Sure.
You get crossed over. You know, Obama's crossing over Z from China. You know, that could be really bad for diplomacy. But yeah, so well, you know, whatever. I'm just giving a nod to the bowling alley. But what would my thing be? What do laser? Look, it's laser.
Laser tag's fun.
Laser tag's fun, but no, people don't seem to. Think,
There probably will be a president who like puts in a paintball.
I was thinking paintball, yeah, and that could be fun. And then also the Secret Service could train. And it's probably here's the problem. I know too much. And that's why I would love to be president, not because of the other reasons. I know too much. Otherwise I would definitely get elected, but I know too much. They won't let me. No, but like, I would just be like, this seems like, paintball seems like something they could use to somehow stage like a weird once in a lifetime, quote unquote, like, you know, 1,000,000 to 1 odds, I get shot.
Right.
You know, where like, oh, the paintball was loaded with a bullet. Like, I don't think that's possible. But somehow, in my case, the paintball will have a bullet in it, and it'll work. I know it's like
the paint hardened so much that it became a bullet.
Well, look, I mean, you say that these pepper guns that these ice guys have. I mean, it's pepper, but I guess it's hardened and it doesn't feel good. And I think it's kind of essentially like a paintball gun in the sense it's like a tube and CO2 or something and pushes something. So right. You know someone puts there's a funny thing. Someone puts a ball. There's a peep show on. Like, hey, someone puts a ball bearing in there. You're fucked. Like, yeah. So that's what. So I don't want any of that. Is my point. Mm-hmm.
That's smart. You're thinking ahead.
I think like an old school arcade could be fun.
Oh yeah.
You know, some pinball, a Pac-Man machine maybe. I don't love Pac-Man honestly, but you know, we love that. What was the game we like? Bubble Bobble.
Oh right, Bust a
Move is fun. That could be a fun thing to add. You know, that way, you know, like some idiot, whatever, the president of Yugoslavia brings his dumb kids and go play in the arcade. Shut up. That's what I would say. Nice kids, go take them to the arcade. I'm not dealing with your kids all day. We're here to talk about whether you fucking let me fire missiles from your country or not. I'm not having your kids in the room. It's in the arcade. That's why it's there. I never get to go, so I'm too busy as a president. But yeah, it could be fun, right? Like a nice, like whatever, and maybe a little laser tag.
Right.
Or could they put a Gravitron in the basement of the White House?
What's a Gravitron again?
Or the lawn. The Gravitron was that like thing at those like carnivals. I don't think they have them at like Six Flags type things. They might sometimes have them at fixed theme parks, but they're more for like when you have like a church carnival or whatever, or a town thing. It's the one that's like it looks like a UFO almost, if I remember.
Oh, right.
And it spins around. Yeah, is this it? Yeah, let's put a picture up.
Oh man, kids get decapitated in these things all the time.
Well, hold on. No, that's not it. Oh no, the Gravitron, the one that's the different thing.
Okay.
On the bottom left. What's the one, the enclosed thing? Yeah, that's the Gravitron. It looks like a fucking ship. I mean, you still might be able to get decapitated in anything. But this is more like you go inside of it and it's...
It's so funny about your first major scandal is that you put a Gravitron in the White House and a kid gets decapitated by it.
Well, you get decapitated in anything. You get decapitated playing bowling. No one says playing bowling, by the way. Interesting. But yeah, no, the idea of this fun ride, I loved it, honestly, is that like it spins around really fast. You go inside and there's like kind of vinyl panels on the wall and it starts spinning around and I don't think you even belt into it. Do you belt in when you go on Gravitron? I think you just start spinning around and gradually gets faster and faster, and the gravity, like the force, sticks you to the sides,
right? And
it starts going crazy, and you're stuck to the side. Mm-hmm. And if somehow gravity fails, which I don't think it's physically possible, if the motor fails, you're fucked. If it stops spinning all of a sudden, I guess you can go flying or fall. That's probably where people could get injured,
right?
I would ask them to double. I mean, a lot of these things are run by like I don't know. I never met the people who work at carnivals. Honestly, they say carnies, right? All these people are all carnies. I mean. it might be true. I can't vouch for that. How the dumbest people you ever met. Mm-hmm. But that's a stereotype, right?
Yeah,
and
right. Yeah, like Carney's stereotype.
Right. Even to this day, people seem to like look down on people who work these machines, and yet people don't tend to die.
Yeah.
So if I have the White House engineering or the Army Corps of Engineers just give it a once over, I think I'm fine.
Yeah.
Probably, right? Airplanes don't just fall out of the sky. Why would the motor of this thing stop working just because, some like, the Emir of Qatar is in there? I'll tell you why. You know why. Yeah. That's why it'd be an arcade, maybe I don't put all my eggs in the basket of the Gravitron.
Maybe a small amusement park type thing.
Why not just turn it into a carnival that you can't go into? It's only for the people who work in the White House and the people we like. And I think I have the job already. I'm the president. But,
and my friends and my boys.
But really, it's like it is an American thing, right? But I guess we do it a lot because I'm saying like you win. And it's supposed to be kind of like, well, you won, but you're not supposed to like gloat about it and be like and we're getting all the perks, right? Like it's not supposed to be Tammany Hall where we win the election and we dole out the jobs and the the graft. Mm-hmm. No, it is like a lot of politics is that, but it's not supposed to be highlighted. It's not good for society probably if you make that front and center. But that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna run as a Democrat, let's just say, or I'll say Republican. People always call me SJW rat. I'm not. But I'm a Republican. I would not let Democrats in my little theme park unless they voted on bills I like. Like hey, what's his name? Fetterman. Hey, John Fetterman. Yeah, I'll give you more incentive to vote for allowing poison apples. Fucking go to my theme park. So that's nice. It's a thing because people can take it. Remember, people were freaking out about like the M&Ms, the White House M&Ms at one point, and how like they would give them to people as like kind of social credit.
No, I didn't hear about that.
I remember reading about this where it was like they became this kind of thing on Instagram. I think
presidential M&Ms.
I think this like was a thing in the first Trump administration. People, it was probably I think Trump is a divisive. He likes to make bold moves. But I do think a lot of this stuff ends up being stuff that like was always because I don't think he invented the M&Ms. They were around for years, right? These White House, but look at the presidential M&Ms. But I remember people are freaking out because like, well, they would only give them to people who curry political favor. This is it, yeah. I would never think like if I was a guy who worked at the White House, right, or I got to visit because I was part of some podcast that interviewed whatever, I would never think to go, hey, can I get a packet of those M&Ms that I've heard you guys make? To me, it just seems like it's like one of those things you hear about in school where it's like, yeah, they even make them for the president. It's like a stupid gimmick that like a corporation does probably, and no one actually cares, but it's a nice thing. But this became a thing maybe because of Instagram. People like to show it. Like I have access. I have the M&Ms. It seemed bizarre to me. I would never even think to ask it for them or think it's cool. I mean, sometimes you keep like a security key from like a hotel when you're on vacation, just as a little memento. But I'm always about to throw those out. Like, why am I keeping this? It's like it feels like that, but that's my point. And if that could cause a stir, imagine having me owning, besides being president, controlling this White House theme park. That because everyone's got kids in this world. The birth rate, all successful people seem to have kids. It seems like something you do. It's like the thing in the Departed with Baldwin. Like, have some kids, but people don't know you're gay or some shit, right? And you would think these people don't care. I think it is all performative because I thought the gimmick was that these powerful people don't care about their kids. They're all too busy, right? This is why fucking Cats in the Cradle is a song. That's not written about some guy who, some gravedigger. That guy's around, That guy is...
Yeah, that song's about a mover and a shaker.
Yeah, the gravedigger shows up to your little league game. He shows up to your recital. It's the vice president, it's the congressman, it's the staffer at the White House who says, hey, you know what? There'll be a lot of little league games that I'm going to miss. So let's not start a precedent here. I got an important job. You're part of my life. You're not my whole life. The gravedigger's like, no, let's hang out more, and you don't want that. I mean, this is the thing. People complain with this Cats in the Cradle thing. Do you want your dad to be the gravedigger? That's really the question. People don't really ask that. They think it's, my dad loves me and kisses me and hugs me. But like that, if you have it and not like, cool clothes, your life sucks. No one else is gonna tell you that, but maybe a bunch of people. They didn't tell me that as a kid.
Right.
Oh, you can anything you want, but make sure you have nice clothes or your life will suck. People will not look inside you unless it's against your will. Look inside me. But no, they'll treat you like trash if you're not, don't have the trappings. Right?
That's right. Yeah. Apparently, this was started under Reagan, by the way.
Well, the beans,
the magic beans.
Yeah, it's all whatever. I mean, I think it started under friggin' George Washington. some weird corporo oligarcho techno fascist started it. They all are. Not just Reagan. He was weird though. I love how his big move was like, I'm gonna fire all the friggin' air traffic controller union guys. And it was like, yeah, like that. Is that what Adam Smith was leading with? This is how we reboot the economy. We say fucking, we're gonna pay you $10 an hour to fucking make sure people don't fall out of the sky. If you question it, we'll kill you. I mean, I'm not saying everything he did was wrong, but they can bring that up a lot. Like he really, my dad would tell me that. I said like they all played chicken and he won. Like it was some great thing. I'm like, I get it. I get there's a reason why they probably shouldn't have strike, and maybe there was actually unpaid. I know I couldn't strike when I was in a union at the morgue, technically. I guess there's a similar thing because you have a public safety issue, but like it still seems like a weird thing to brag about. It's unfortunate they really just weren't getting paid enough or something.
Right. Yeah, and they do get like to this day I think they get worked pretty long hours. Like
I mean, I'm not here with the fiddle I don't know anything about these guys. I just feel like, I get it. I was fed stories my whole life about like, how the auto worker unions, like, they would have 4 guys doing the job of one guy and they'd all be at the bar banging some girl and then one guy would be stuck working, but he gets to do it the next day. And like, there's a fucking bacchanal. I was like, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I guess but then it does seem like a lot of our problems come from, it's a pendulum. Mm-hmm. I get that sometimes they have too much, I want to live in a right to work state, fuck unions. Like, I made a lot more money when I got into a union.
Right.
At the same job. It does seem to work sometimes. Yeah. I don't know. Like, it just seems like when, we have like the most powerful, the richest man in America is a Chinese guy who lives in Shanghai. That's true. I'm just saying. Like, there's a lot of wealth amongst people. All the wealth is owned by people who don't care about this country at all. And I don't think the solution is not have a union. I think whatever. I'm not an economist. But yeah, Reagan.
Right.
Sorry, and that was a side. But yeah, he invented the M&Ms. I want to know what would your addition to the White House be?
I was thinking a petting zoo. Petting zoo could be cool.
Wait, hold on. Let's not just blow past that. That's actually a really cool idea.
I mean, it would be the best petting zoo.
What, you say like illegal things?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Things that are just illegal everywhere else.
That's actually, that's great. Because yes.
Let's use this unhinged power for some good.
Well, yeah, because you can, they can make an embassy. Like when you go, we're in America, right? It's all America's sovereign nation. It's all important. But when we decide to, that's China.
Right.
Because the embassy, right? And all those other countries. Again, it's an international convention, whatever it needs to have. But then you have that power, is my point. Mm-hmm. So you could probably also just say, well, this is law, animal law doesn't apply in this section of the White House.
And the thing that's great about animals is that, like, most animals, no matter how dangerous they are as adults,
right?
They're very, like, they're cute as babies.
This is a great point.
So you just keep perpetual baby tigers. You switch them out when they get too old, when they get too dangerous. This
is a great point.
Yeah.
And also, because I remember being fascinated by hearing about the food in the White House at one point. And this relates to that. And it's weird because Trump loves to eat, but they don't emphasize any of this. But there was that movie, The Contender, with Jeff Daniels was the president and trying to get Joan Allen, I think, to be the first female vice president. Mm-hmm. And he just keeps going, they make me these shark steak sandwiches. You want one? They make them all the time. Like, and you can, the president can, within reason, I guess, have anything.
Right.
And I think, and part of that is because, and why it relates to this, I think the logic besides just, well, he's de facto the king, and he, whatever, and it's not proper. But more so, it's just him and the people around him. You don't have to go. Well, it's not a restaurant that has to serve people, thousands of people and be profitable. It can just do all. And the same thing with your petting zoo. Petting zoos have to operate on some condition of, well, we can't just keep getting rid of the babies every 3 months. Mm-hmm. How could that? But it's the White House,
right?
So you kind of can, Because you could just you just declare this now goes to Yosemite or something. This vicious spider, you know. So you could just have it could be just have babies,
right?
So yeah, that we were envisioning like a baby petting zoo,
right? Yeah. I mean, obviously, some of them could be allowed to grow up,
right?
You know, like it's you know, I'd love to have a red panda in there.
I mean, the Central Park Zoo has that. We better get that.
Yeah.
If you become president, I'll be the first lady or whatever they call it, whatever Doug Emhoff's going to be, and I'll make that my thing for you. Well, you get to pick it, but someone tries to tell me, no, we're going to have 15 red pandas, and they're going to be the butlers. Like that's already a thing. And if you don't know, red pandas are like, maybe pull a picture up for them. It's not what you think. Well, again, I keep saying that. A lot of these facts people might know, and they go, "No, you're an idiot. We know this. Here we go."
They're the best animal.
But look at this. Yeah, we know they have it at Central Park Zoo. Look at how cute this is. It's a little teddy bear.
They're amazing.
I don't even know how it's a panda. I don't think people name things properly anymore. Like, I mean, I get they might be related, but that can't be a panda. That and a panda bear can't be the same thing.
Look at that.
It's like a fox.
That's gonna be at the White House.
It's gonna be so amazing. And that's not even gonna be part of the zoo. Like that's legal. If the Central Park Zoo can do that, then we can just put those everywhere in the White House.
Right.
So like that's that like I'm yelling, I'm screaming. There's like interns, like people who work for this zoo. I'm screaming, and then I also have the other staff of the White House, president. I'm like, you understand? We're setting up something that's otherwise illegal in this petting zoo. This is just the appetizer. This is just to get people interested in our illegal petting zoo. Is that we have these lying around? That's how commonplace red pandas will be in the White House.
Right, yeah, it'll start like, you know, they're gonna be in this wing or that wing,
yeah,
whatever.
Right.
But eventually, like, you know, people forget about the story. The rules start loosening up. I'm
gonna lose people here. I don't want to lose people, and I don't want this to happen. I mean, this is the way it always goes. You're gonna start dying because it's become so lax.
It just becomes like an exotic hoarder's house.
We're gonna like this is the thing. When you have like it has to be here at a certain time, they come in and out at a certain time, and then your job is to make sure that this red panda shows up back in this pen, the backstage pen, right, whatever you call it. Like, like the one. This is the show pen, and we have people coming in, and then when they're done, they come back here, and there's no lollygagging, right? That tend to stay alive in that environment.
Right.
But I'm like, no, they just I want them lying about. So when I walk through, I go, I want it to be a surprise the way a cat can be a surprise at someone's house. They go, oh, the cat's here. Nice. But it's a panda. And in that kind of environment, you just inherently have to lower the standards of like people knowing where they are. They get stepped on maybe. Right. They make their way into the furnace. I don't know. Like they forget to eat.
Right, yeah, things happen.
It's hard to keep track of when they're eating or not eating.
It's a big place.
Yeah. No, it's a big... We're establishing... The White House is a whole complex, I didn't even know the East Wing existed.
It's going to stink.
It's going to stink like shit. I mean, that's the thing. Maybe that's the only saving grace is that I don't like smells. I don't like this to smell like shit. So I'll be like... It'll just make them hate me more. But I'll be like, look, all the laissez-faire of red pandas, but I better never smell it. Well, it's gonna smell. No. So they'll have to kind of be like waiting like ninjas with like those fucking smell detectors and shit. Make sure, and they're just cleaning that shit up right away. Pissing shit. There's be so much. I mean, they probably piss and shit a lot. They're bears. I mean, they're small, but
I mean, we're gonna have all the animals.
Right. This is the red panda. I mean, yeah. I don't think anything else will be lying about though, right? The rest of it will be in I guess the East Wing, right?
This might need to get split up between the West and East Wing, to be honest.
Not the residents. So so you show up. All right. So we're gonna have people coming, like the granddaughter, like some fucking congressman from Wisconsin is gonna like be the swing vote for some fucking like we want to make cancer illegal or something. So we fucking need him to vote, and you're like, hey, why don't you bring your grandkids? Oh, yeah, I do have grandkids. Well, why don't you bring them down with their parents? I guess they're appropriate parents, or wherever or you can bring them yourself.
They're appropriate guardians.
I'll always be awkward, even as the president. And I guess in this case, I'm the president's wife. But whatever. But I handle these things. Like, why don't you come bring them? And, so it's not like, and so these people who don't really know the White House grounds that well, like, you have to come and, like, well, a map. This is a shitty map we print out. You go, well, how do I see the alligators? You go, well, that's that's near the West Wing, and they have to travel through the residency or something. I don't know how this works. It's going to become a real problem.
Oh, that's amazing.
What, can you give me like 5 things that would be like 5 best attractions at your baby petting zoo?
I mean, you got to have a baby elephant.
Holy shit! So we're getting real here.
Yeah, we're gonna have biggest and smallest.
Look, this is actually you're all right. Go,
baby elephant, baby bird.
Just go. I'm gonna have so much to say. So go name your 5, and then because I'm gonna circle back on that.
All right, we got a baby elephant.
Yeah.
We got a baby peacock.
Okay.
We got a baby tiger, a baby lion.
Oh my God.
Baby bear.
These are so you name them. Like, I get it. This is what you would not. There's a reason they're illegal, and like these are. I was talking a lot of shit about how we can make. I guess this is how it's going to go down. This is going to be the scandal. I'm going to be taking this to Congress. I got to be honest with you, Mr. Senator. I didn't envision myself being at this hearing, but I talked a lot of shit leading up to this petting zoo. I forgot, and I assumed that the various natural parks that we have. And subjugated zoos. Excuse me, what is that? Subjugated zoos? What does that mean? Like, I'm not sure. But smaller zoos, we can kind of strong arm, to take our shit. Could make it so that we could basically keep this baby shit going, right? This cycle of babies. But I failed to think that my wife would, and it's her prerogative to pick baby elephant as the first thing, which is like, where do you even get elephants? And like, I don't think we have national parks that take elephants. So I think we end up killing. I don't want to think about it. I want to say even on a YouTube video or podcast, I'll just say that we execute a lot of elephants. Because where else would they go? It's like when you put down an animal, like, well, if it's gonna suffer, it's got rabies.
Look, where do they go when they're on a farm?
They don't be on elephants. Don't be on farms. What? There's no elephants on farms. I mean, where would they do? I mean, I guess that would be a heavy duty plow. That'd be one hell of a plow. I mean, if England, for instance, had elephants to pull plows for them, that would be a lot of corn they could make. That might have made the Industrial Revolution happen quicker.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, I don't think there are on farms. I mean, it would be funny if we said, "Hey, I like to think we're good people. We'd have to be just the most strong-armed presidential couple who's ever lived.
Just to make this, yeah.
Right. It all just comes from it.
We're going to waste all our political capital on this.
I don't even think it's not political capital. We're going to literally the threat of military force on civilians will have to be used in some cases. It goes beyond political capital. We're going to have to tell farmers, look, ethanol subsidies, right? That's always a controversial thing, right? Ethanol, we buy you corn to make ethanol, and no one really likes ethanol, but it's good because you get paid off. It's like, we're going to take it away, and we're also going to burn some of your fields when you're not looking if you don't fucking take these elephants. Everyone takes every acre, every X amount of acres gets an elephant, and you take it on, right? And it's just and you can maybe use them to grow corn. How do we do that? I don't know. Figure it out. They're big animals, they're powerful.
Look, I mean, when I was bringing up the farm before,
yeah,
I was kind of implying it's a sensitive subject.
Sure,
but
oh, that's a euphemism.
Maybe you use them for meat.
Oh, okay. This is
self-sustaining.
But this is an interesting thing because
this is like I'm basically gonna pitch this as a contemporary Garden of Eden.
Sure, that's how you're gonna pitch it. But I'm gonna be in this weird thankless role where I have to explain. These things don't tend to get expressly stated. That's the whole point. Is plausible deniability. So I didn't want to ask my wife what exactly she means because otherwise she has to lie to you guys. So I thought she meant that we have to fucking force feed onto corn farms and they figure it out. But she actually meant we should eat the elephants, which I didn't realize. That's interesting, though. I mean, why is it such the case that people don't do that, eat elephants?
I think they're probably pretty tough. They're also endangered. Right.
But I feel like a lot of the things that make a thing tough is that the thing that moves the thing is the tough thing, the muscle that builds.
Right.
And now, so like, you know, an elephant's leg is so big that the part of the leg that's close to the thing that moves the leg, the joint, would probably, but like also like a lot of, maybe a lot of relatively tender meat because it's just moving, it's the part that's not the muscle moving that leg. Mm-hmm. I really don't know how muscles work. I'm assuming this is true, but like, you know, maybe you get a lot of tender meat. Well, that's what we'll tell people at least.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be substance. This is going to become, why not give us to prisons? I mean, I've tasted prison food. It's horrible.
Right.
It's too much sodium.
Yeah, like if they were given some elephant meat, like would
elephant
they
steaks. No, it'd be so much. They're eating like the stuff where I think a certain amount of sawdust gets mixed in with the quote unquote ground beef. You're right. It's like these weird like what do they call it? Like particles or something. Like it's some kind of weird like fucking things. It's not literally cardboard, but it's some kind of weird I forget. It's almost like styrofoam, but it's food technically. It's like it was whatever's in Metamucil or something. Oh, like psyllium husk type things. You know, cellulose and stuff like that. Celluloids. Just get elephant steaks. You know, that's actually not a bad idea, and it'll be a demand for it then. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing people they stay endangered is that there's no demand for something. You know,
right?
Like
yeah, that's true.
When people eat beef's never going to extinct. You think about it for a second. It's never your mind.
Yeah, you could argue that their lives are constant agony, but
they ever tell you that?
No.
The cow ever said that to you?
No, I guess not.
That's a loophole. I mean, it really is. I mean, I'm not the one who did this. I mean, that seems, if a cow could tell you I'm in a lot of pain, I feel like we would eat it less. That does seem to be like the cutoff mark. Mm-hmm. But, you know, whatever. Point is, this is how we save elephants.
Right.
And we could become overrun with elephants, perhaps. I don't, you know, there's going to be giant ships coming into the harbor every day. We're going to have to, like, import so many elephants, I guess, from Africa.
This is going to be a disaster.
I mean, the pandas have a problem breeding, right?
Yeah.
They don't breed. Like, I don't know why they can't just, like, artificially inseminate them. You tell me they can't make a machine that go with, like, the Sibian thing that Howard Stern invented, right? That thing you sit on with a I'm not sure, you know, it's good, but, you know, the device that goes inside you. They can't make that for a panda? Howard Stern was able to invent it. He's like a radio jockey. That's shock. I mean, why can't the government invent a panda thing? Whatever.
Yeah, you would think that with our technology, we would be able to inseminate just about anything by now.
That really should be our campaign slogan.
Right.
We're not the smartest. We're not the best shape. We know our kids are dumb. We don't make good science anymore. And crops suck, and people have cancer. And we can't send anything. You show us a hole, we'll fill it. You know, what's the word? Ethically, we ethically fill a whole hole. So I want to make that clear. Otherwise, it might sound like something else, right? And what do you mean ethically? Well, I just want to make sure they don't think we're doing that thing. Like, it's a weird thing. It'd be a weird thing to brag about. I agree, but it's a wild time. So it's, you know, that covers ethically fill all holes. It's be a T-shirt. Yeah, I mean, look, this is the. I'm gonna bring this back up. This is the red. And look at that little lazy panda. I love it.
Amazing.
Do you have any idea what your policies would be as president?
Oh God, no. This is it. This is a policy.
This would be so much. We just want that. Well, we should at least. I mean, I'm saying that. I feel like we're into a stage, and this is probably my point. I think this actually is kind of a thing where, like, similar to what I was talking about with Jeremy Allen White, the genius, the resident genius. You know, he should. Is there a resident genius in America? There should be. They should, because honestly,
like a genius laureate.
Right, because and we haven't had that before. I feel like we didn't need it because we did have legitimate geniuses who made stuff and invented stuff. But now we're kind of, if it's going to be the case where we're kind of dumbing down the country on purpose with Jeremy Allen White, we should maybe make him the first genius laureate, just to establish, so people don't get the twist that he's just a particularly dumb guy.
Right.
We need to make sure that this is across the board now. This applies to everyone. He's not just a genius. He's the genius. And maybe we'll probably need one other guy who looks kind of like him to be the next genius. And then, you know, we can stop talking about it after that. But my point is, this thing with, like, we're talking so much about the East Wing and this and that, and he dropped a big turd on Harry Sisson, right? He made an AI video, and people like it, right? Do you have that, by the way, real quick?
Oh.
Doesn't matter. It's fine. He made there's a little Democratic kid who gets paid by the DNC or whatever to make YouTube videos or whatever, or Snapchats, and Trump.
Is this the kid who's kind of a player?
I don't think he's a player. Well, maybe, I don't know. Point is, a lot of people know who he is, Harry Sisson, but if you don't know, and Trump didn't like, whatever. He made a video, or someone made a video he retweeted where he's flying a fighter jet and drops just shit, not just on him, but like he's part of a whole bunch of people. Was it the No Kings thing, maybe? He's at the No Kings protest?
Right, yeah.
I think that was. There was a No Kings protest, led by Harry Sisson in this environment, in this fantasy world. And Trump just, in a fighter jet, dropping... And fighter jets usually don't drop a lot of bombs, I didn't think. It's more of a you shoot forward at other planes, but whatever. He's dropping just gallons of shit. I mean, thousands of gallons of shit.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like, and we do have, I mean, look... Do we have this thing we show? I want to end with this, because this is I like Jeff Daniels. I watched him on the Newsroom on HBO, which is an insane show, but I thought he was good in it. You a couple years ago got me a bunch of years ago actually tickets to a Broadway show where he played To Kill a Mockingbird for my birthday. Yeah, it was great, very great actor. And he had something to say about this video I'm talking about with the shit and the fighter jet and Harry Sisson. Let's just pull this up for a moment.
And by the way, do we really have to treat people like that? You know, the meme that he had where he was flying with the crown and spewing excrement all over the people down below.
The country, America.
Yeah, he tried it. Would Lincoln have done that?
It's an interesting question.
I think Nixon would have done
well, yeah, she's trying to save it and go, well, I don't think. And maybe I'm crazy here, but of all things, I still think that's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. We live in a reality where Trump, the president, we don't know what Trump's doing. You like it, you don't. It's all wild shit, and he's dropping shit. And I think it's hilarious that he's dropping the shit on the kid. Like, this is not the thing. This is not the thing we care about. It's like it's either going to end well or not, but it's not going to be because of Harry Sisson's shit video. But to look at that and go, would Lincoln do this? Is perhaps the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Would Lincoln make an AI video of himself dropping shit on Harry Sisson and a number of protesters? I don't, in a fighter jet. Would Lincoln have done this?
Yeah, I don't know.
These people, look, there's a lot going on with the presidency.
It's a very different time.
It's very divisive, like the immigration stuff, and it's back and forth. Like, I mean, you go, like, immigration is a problem. Also, like, is it being handled ethically? These are legitimate questions. And people go, and they're not saying, there's a lot of, bad faith arguing back and forth. But it's a very divisive time. It just seems crazy, and like these people like on the left, these Democrats go, no, it's like they call him the liberal fascist, liberal Hitler, and I don't think that's helpful or accurate. I mean, it's not. It's whatever. But like, you can't just call everything that like whatever. I have to explain myself on this. Point is, but they act like it's like if this might be your last election if he gets elected, and so I'm not saying that, but if you're saying that. And then this is how you react. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, it's not me going. It's not a guy going. Look, I know it's all bullshit. Like, you can't see Lincoln doing this. It's a guy who would tell you this is the end of democracy. And by the way, this video where he drops shit out of a fighter jet onto Harry Sisson, the influencer, who's paid by. Would Lincoln have done this? Like, it's just. I mean, am I expressing this right? It's the craziest. Idea of is I don't know what happens to these people's heads. Like, if you think that the democracy is on the ropes, you wouldn't care at all. Like, this is not the thing you would talk about. You wouldn't, like, you know what I mean? And like,
Right.
It's like, this doesn't seem to be the high stakes issue at hand. I would think maybe you have a problem with ICE raids. And maybe you would say, like, why are they wearing a mask? And someone might go, well, they've been wearing a mask forever. But that kind of discussion, right?
Right.
And they go, look, I get they have authority, but they people don't know if they're cops or kidnapping them. And go, well, yeah, but they won't let them arrest them at the courthouse like Obama did because it's a Secretary of City. It's a debate, right, about important issues. He's dropping the shit. Would Lincoln have dropped the shit on the Harry sister? It just seems like a...
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it is like, in a way, I guess it is an appropriate question just because merely asking the question at this point is so absurd that it does kind of like highlight how crazy it's all become. But it's like, but it's strange. Like he's still in the mode of like how you might talk about like Bush term 1 or something.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Where things still were comparable.
Right. Yeah, no, I think what's happened is, in a lot of ways, it's like, and Trump is definitely the spearhead of it, but I think other people, the Democrats have tried to, like, keep up in their own way, in weird ways, and it's just like, it's a lot of shit posting in real life, and online, of course, and it's just the vibe now. So, yeah, I mean, of course, no, I don't think Lincoln would have done this. I want to make that very clear. I don't want to skirt the issue here. I don't think Lincoln would have done this. It just, I mean... Did you ask that about the immigration stuff? I mean, if you said, hey, these guys are coming and they're wearing a mask in the van and it doesn't say ICE on it, right? And so people don't know. Now, that also leaves out, by the way, people are also following these vans around, so they know. And they're going, no, we can't take people. So they know they're feds because they're following the van around. But whatever. I'm just saying, it's a complicated issue. But Jeff Daniels is saying this to you. We go, would Lincoln like this complicated issue? Mm-hmm. Would Lincoln have had the unmarked van? Would Lincoln like the bang bus? I don't know. Lincoln. Not like Eisenhower, not like Nixon. Right. She brings up Nixon. She even go like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right. Now, you go, and maybe I didn't make this quite clear. We're going to watch this. Here's the thing. Is this a song? Is this the song?
We interviewed Joan Baez for the Best People podcast. We asked her what was
the same thing
about the movements in the 60s, and she said,
you know what? Is that the same girl from before?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is how he ends the interview or whatever.
Lots of things, but one of them, we had each other, and we had the music. On Saturday, 7 million Americans found each other at the No Kings protest, and today, thanks to Jeff Daniels, we've got the music.
This is a song I wrote called Crazy World. That's how I cope.
Okay, let's hear it.
I've seen a young girl smiling. It's something he just said. I watched him fall into her pretty green eyes. His cheeks turned Valentine red.
He's got the Ricky Gervais thing where he's thinking about Princess Diana.
He's looking over like, that's good, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, so it seems like, well, I think you're extrapolating, right? It's like he wasn't, but no, this is what he thinks is the, if we're actually, like, if we're about to collapse into tyranny, it's a cognitive dissonance going on.
This was literally connected. This anchor just connected what's happening here to some of the best music of the 60s. Like some of the best protest music of the 60s.
I didn't think on that level. You're right, so narcissistic. Right. I'm basically Joan Baez. I don't know if you know who Joan Baez is, but I'm basically her.
Remember Times They Are Changing?
Right.
Well, why don't you listen to this?
Yeah. And you want a new sound? Well, listen. But it's just like, I mean, like, look, the protest is called No King. I think No Kings is a dumb name, regardless of being, like, No King. It sounds like it just sounds dumb. But I get the sentiment that you're trying to do, and you think that, right? And I don't think people are crazy to be kind of concerned about, like, the encroachment of whatever. I think norms are being shifted. Mm-hmm. Whether you like, and you could argue that, like, certain norms are part of, like, entrenched power. Maybe. I could buy that more when you see, like, whatever. But that's not the point of the conversation. The point is that if you believe that, and then this, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like it's a very, like, is this kind of like, is he the Jeremy Allen White for boomers? You know?
I mean, this all just makes more sense when you realize that the people watching this are like lying in a hospital bed.
Right.
Their kids aren't there.
That is the only time I ever see like news. I remember the last time I watched like network news, or one of the times I remember, it was like my grandma dying.
Right.
And you know, I literally said it. I literally remember, like, she was like, I literally said out loud, who watches network news anymore? This is so bad. It was them. Like, and I mean, she wasn't a good grandma. That's fine. But yeah, so I don't know. It's a very fun time.
Can we listen to a little bit more of this?
I don't.
This is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, yeah, because this way we can just kind of cut it off because it might. Yeah, but
I've seen an old man walking with his wife by his side. I watched him reach down, take her hand. Damned if I didn't cry.
it's so bad.
This is the worst I've ever. And it's like he's like an okay guitar player.
Yeah,
but it's just so insipid.
It's just so like he thinks he's gonna heal. Like there's a lot. I mean, you know, friggin' Steve Bannon's like, I don't know what thing. When I was watching an interview, he's talking about it's gonna be a third term for Trump. I'd be like, what do you mean third term? Like, well, I don't know. When the time comes, we'll see what happens. Which just seems ominous. I don't know. He said something like, we'll figure out the wording. And what do you mean wording? But I don't know. I don't.
Right, yeah, that's happening. I saw an old man breathing.
Look, there's been like FDR had 4 terms. We did pass an amendment because of it. So it's like, but it's not like fundamentally like it would be the end of the world. You would think, but yeah, we know it was a constitutional amendment. We're gonna do it. You just say, don't worry about it. And he's fucking. I don't know. It just seems like this is not. We're on different page. Maybe it doesn't even matter. Maybe it's all fake is my point, which I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the guy who like every time, you're just excusing every norm Trump's or whatever. I like to not be like anyone's goon, right? But if these are the kind of people who like this is the end. And you're going to sing like, I watched the old man. It's pretty good, right? I mean, Joe Myers. It's insanity. Anyway. We're a man without country until you get elected.
That's right.
And we get these pandas.
And then we're going to be every country.
We're going to be the elephant country. We're going to have to start wearing elephant clothes as a country. Right? Like, we're going to have to start making like hoodies out of elephant.
We'll be the first furries in the White House.
Oh, God. That's going to be our legacy. They always go with the worst thing you do. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Listen to the show. Don't forget, once more, like and subscribe if you think if you're politically aligned with this. Like and subscribe. And Patreon.com/RayCump. Have a great week.